So a pretty heavily requested video this one. Today we're going to have a look at how to play a chip shot from a fairly tight fairway/fringe lie. I'm going to talk to you in terms of how to set up to the shot, how to play it, and also going to give you a few drills in terms of how you're going to practice this and go away and work on it so you can get the most from this sort of position just off the green. So if we want the most success when playing this golf shot, it's really important that we get the setup right in order to do so. There's 3 points at the setup that we want to absolutely nail before we even take the golf club away. The first one is stance width. I see far too many people set up to a chip shot as if they're playing a 7-iron or a longer golf club. Again, a 7-iron, we want to produce a little bit of speed when hitting it to kind of acquire some distance. With a chip shot, we're not really after much distance, we're after the most control as possible. So let's get those feet set up a little bit narrower. A really good reference for this is take your golf club and put it between your feet, and that's a pretty good stance width there to play the chip shot. The second part is getting our hands in the correct position at address to be able to present that golf club correctly to the golf ball. And on very firm ground, it's really important that we do this as well. By getting the golf club too far behind the golf ball, where our hands are behind the golf ball, it presents the bounce in a different way. So by leaning the shaft backwards, you can see the leading edge of the golf club sits quite high off the floor and you increase the degrees of bounce there. If you think of that type of dynamic when playing from very firm ground, it's going to cause you a lot of issues. The golf club is going to start to work down, the sole is going to hit the ground before the golf ball, which causes the golf club to kick up off the ground, off very firm lies, which scolds the golf ball across the green. On the other hand, if you get the hands too far forwards, it presents that leading edge kind of very low and you kind of de-loft it and reduce the amount of bounce, and from that position you're going to hit the ground too soon or potentially take kind of chunky divots and the golf ball isn't really going to travel very far at all. So we want to find kind of a medium balance between the two. And now a good reference for getting the hands in the correct position, where they're just ahead of the golf ball, not too far forwards or not too far back, is getting the butt end of the grip presented somewhere kind of in line with my left ear. The last point we're going to make at setup is by getting the weight lent ever so slightly forwards to the lead leg. This is going to get the golf club attacking the golf ball on the correct path, not too steep but not too shallow, but in a way where it's a descending blow, and that's going to really help us contact the ground correctly at the golf ball. Okay, so we've got our setup in a position now where we can present the golf club correctly at the golf ball. Now, what type of swing are we using for this shot? And the answer for that is a very simple one, really. A good little key whilst playing this golf shot is try and keep the back of your left hand and the back of your left forearm facing the target at all times. This is going to offer us less club face rotation and be able to present that golf club square at the golf ball each time. So let's have a go at this now. So let's run through these setup points. So stance width is a club's width apart. Ball position kind of middle, if not back, if you prefer that. Hands just ahead of the golf ball underneath my left ear. Lean a little bit of weight left and keep my forearms pretty straight and the back of my left wrist facing the target. And now the beauty about that technique is you can keep the technique exactly the same and just vary the golf club. Allow the golf club loft to affect the distance the golf ball travels and the kind of trajectory that the ball takes. So let's have a go at the exact same technique with a 9-iron. Now with a 9-iron, I'm just going to have to vary my landing spot. So I'm going to try and land this 9-iron just into this upslope, so it takes a bit of the speed out of it, but I'm going to keep the technique exactly the same. So just pitching into the upslope there, rolling out nicely to the flag. Oh, nearly hold that one. Okay, so let's try the lob wedge now. So now I've got even more loft. I'm going to keep the technique exactly the same, but obviously I'm just going to need a slightly longer backswing and follow through. So firm ground, going to have to get the hands forward, slot this golf club underneath the golf ball. So a bit of a pull that one, but again, you can see the technique's the same. Distance was very good. So a very simple technique there that you can use when playing from very firm kind of tight fairway / fringe lies, and it's going to get that golf club presented in a way where it interacts with the ground correctly and you present the right amount of loft on the golf ball to affect the distance that the golf ball travels. Again, this technique can be used exactly the same whilst varying the golf club. So if you enjoyed this video or it actually helped and you've put it into practice, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to follow on this kind of chipping series with a few other videos and how you'd vary the technique whilst trying to do different things with a golf ball and also playing from different lies. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.